Okay guys, welcome back. We will now be moving to the next chapter, which is integrated and non-integrated accounts. Okay, so first we need to understand what is the difference between non-integrated and integrated accounts. So integrated accounts is when your books of accounts and cost accounts both are integrated. So if both will be integrated, what will happen? There will be one profit. Correct? There will also be one balance sheet. Correct? But when we talk about non-integrated accounts, as the name suggests, the accounts are not integrated, which means they are kept separately. So financial books will be separate from cost books. As per financial account, we will calculate one profit, which is the financial profit. As per cost books, we will calculate one more profit, because the principles of cost accounting and financial accounting both are different. Correct? And that will be the cost profit. So naturally what will happen? We have two profits in place. So there needs to be a reconciliation statement which we need to prepare to reconcile our financial profit with our cost profit. Correct? Also, in non-integrated accounts, because they are purely cost accounts, we have only 3 real accounts, okay, and everything else is a nominal account, which means we have no personal accounts. We have no personal accounts. So if we don't have personal accounts and we have only 3 real accounts, how do we complete our entries? Tell me. Now, say in financial accounts, we are purchasing. What is the entry for purchases? Purchases to cash or bank or creditors, whatever be the case. Correct? Now here, cash is what kind of account? Real account. I don't have any other real account. I just have 3. I'll tell you which 3 they are. They are not cash. So, purchase is okay. To what? I don't have an account. So, in order to complete all my journal entries, in non-integrated accounts, I open a nominal account called as General Ledger Control Account. General Ledger Control Account is also known as General Ledger Adjustment Account. It could also have another name, Cost Ledger Control Account or Cost Ledger Adjustment Account. So it's basically a nominal account, like a suspense account, which I open to complete all my journal entries. Okay, so naturally I don't have personal accounts. I have only 3 real accounts. It is not possible to have a balance sheet in non-integrated accounts. I will not have a balance sheet. What will I show in my balance sheet? I don't have any assets only to show. Correct? So max to max I will have a trial balance. And after I prepare the trial balance, I will show my reconciliation, that is of the cost profit with the financial profit. Okay, so now our focus is going to be on non-integrated accounts. Okay, if we understand non-integrated accounts, integrated accounts becomes very easy. Okay, so now in non-integrated accounts, what all do I have? Okay, my principal ledger is called as the cost ledger. Okay, and I have subsidiary ledgers like your stores ledger, WIP ledger, finished goods ledger, correct? I may have expenses ledgers, correct? They are all my subsidiary ledgers. So on a summary basis, I post all my transactions from here to here in the cost ledger. So in the cost ledger, I will open various accounts. Okay, what are those accounts? So if you remember, yesterday I had given you one chart, correct? Big one, looked something like this, correct? So all these accounts are opened in my cost ledger. Now let's see what are these accounts. First one is stores ledger control account. So you imagine all these accounts are small buckets, like the way I've drawn here. Okay, so my first account is my stores ledger control account, SLC account. So as the name suggests, stores ledger control account. So everything to do with material, everything will happen in this stores ledger control account. Yes, so remember I told you there are 3 real accounts. This is one of them because it shows stock of material. So this particular account will always have an opening stock. It will always have a closing stock. What stock will that be? That of raw material. Okay. The next account that I open is wage control account. So this is my order. First I open stores ledger control account. Second I open wage control account. So everything to do with wages will come under wage control account. Okay. The third account I open is my factory overhead control account. So all my factory overheads will get routed via FOH control account. Then I have my WIP control account. So the second real account is my WIP control account because this will have an opening and closing balance, and this opening and closing balance will denote the opening and closing balance of WIP. So everything related to production when it's happening will happen in this particular account. So this account will be denoted as our production floor. Yes, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth account, AOH account, administration overhead account. So all my administration overheads will be routed via this account. Then I have my finished goods control account, which is the 6th account I open. So finished goods control account again is my third real account. That's it. So SLC, WIP and FGC. These are my 3 real accounts. Okay. So this FGC account will have an opening and closing balance. What balance will that be? The opening and closing balance of finished goods, the stock. Correct? Then my 7th account is selling and distribution overhead control account. So all my selling overheads will be routed via S&D OH. Finally, I have my cost of sales control account. See, between finished goods control account and cost of sales control account, there has to be one more intermediate account if you want to open, which is cost of goods sold account. But that is useless. Nothing happens in that account. That account takes from one account, gives to the other account, so we can ignore it. We can directly go to cost of sales control account. Okay? So the 8th account is cost of sales control account. 9th account is sales account. So all my sales will be recorded in the sales account. Okay? Then I have my costing P&L account. So my profit will be determined in the costing P&L account. And finally, the last account, the 11th account, will be your GLC account, which will help you in completing your journal entries. So you see that it's a big tub here. Whatever we don't want, we'll put it there. Okay? Everybody? So shall we start? Now, what kind of items will appear in each of these accounts and how are each of these accounts linked with one another? Okay, so for that, first we will go into SLC account. We know SLC account has opening stock of raw materials, closing stock of raw materials. Now suppose I am purchasing my raw material. What would the entry be in accounts? Purchases to cash. Correct? Here, raw material purchases will be routed via SLC. So purchases account is not there. What is there? SLC. So under purchase, write down SLC2. We don't have cash account. So to complete, which account will I use? GLC account. GLC account. Suppose I am returning my material back to the supplier. The reverse. GLC to SLC account. Correct? Now, from SLC account, I am issuing the material. That means my material is getting issued from the stores to the production floor. So which account will get debited? In this entire scheme, which is my production floor? WIP. So WIP is receiving the material. So debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Correct? So what, in which account is material coming in? WIP. So WIPC to SLC. Because when the material is being issued, it will be removed from the stores and it will go into the production floor. Suppose the production floor didn't like my material. Now they'll transfer it back. Now what will the entry be? So SLC is receiving, stores ledger is receiving the material. So SLC to WIP, the reverse of this. Correct? Now, say there is issue of indirect material. Now, all material will come into stores, whether direct, whether indirect. So now if I am issuing indirect material, where should that go? Naturally, indirect material should go to overhead account. It cannot be directly issued to WIP. Any material which is Going to WIP directly, that is direct material. Always remember. So if this is indirect material, because here I have written issue of indirect material, then it has to be routed via the overhead account. Now here I have not mentioned which overhead. So material could be issued to factory, material could be issued to office, material could be issued to your marketing department. So since nothing is given, we'll assume it is issued to factory. So which overhead account should it go to? FOH. So what should the entry be? FOH to SLC. Guys, correct? At the same time, if they say it is to office, then what will you do? AOH to SLC. At the same time, if they say no, it is for marketing, then SNDOH to SLC. Guys, clear? Okay. Suppose material is being issued towards repairs and maintenance. Then what will the entry be? Same. Repairs and maintenance comes under factory overhead. Correct? It comes under factory overhead. So it will come there only. FOH to SLC account. Guys, correct? Guys, correct? Okay. Now suppose there's a shortage of material. Material is short. Shortage was treated, no? Yesterday only we had treated it. How do you treat it? By treating it as factory overheads. So if there is normal shortage, what happens to that material? Factory overheads to SLC. Correct? But if the shortage is abnormal, then how is it treated? Costing P&L to SLC. Guys, correct? Guys, so yesterday we had done one problem on shortage, no? Shall we go back to that problem? Search. See here, we had done this problem on shortage yesterday. So shortage was to be treated as FOH. See this entry? Isn't this what we passed? Correct? And when shortage was abnormal, costing P&L to SLC, that's what we passed. So is it linked now? Yes. Thank God. So the maximum number of entries are in SLC only. As you proceed, the entries will go on reducing. Guys, okay? Everybody? Now, hey guys, if you liked the video on integrated and non-integrated accounts, please subscribe to our channel Advait Learning and click the bell icon to stay updated on all the videos which will be uploaded in the future. Oh yes, and don't forget to like the video. And anybody who is interested in learning this entire chapter can buy my Turbo Revision Fast Track lectures which are available in our office. You can call on the numbers which are being projected on the screen right now. So the total number of hours are 35 hours and we have Google Drive and pen drive available, guys. So you can choose what you want to buy. The validity of these lectures will be 4 months with 2 views. So if you have any doubts, you can call up on these numbers and people will be there to help you out. So thank you so much, guys. Have a good night. Hasta la vista.